Good afternoon. So indeed, I'm Tom, working as in long-term innovation manager, or also called science friction soaper. If you know what that means, you can ask me during the break. Actually, I work for Ecover. The company official name is People Against Dirty, as we have two brands, Ecover and Method. And as the name of the company kind of explains, we are fighting dirt. Both through using soap, so making products that actually clean, both clothes, floors, whatever, but also fighting dirty business, fighting dirty practices, fighting dirty ingredients. So I think the purpose is a little bit in the name of the company. We have two brands, Ecover and Method. Method is a bit more known and used in US, and Ecover is a bit more known and used in Europe, but both are present in both markets. Now, if you look at the history of the company, Ecover started about 35 years ago, at the time where environmental concerns from companies was at a very low pace. But the founder started in a small farm in Belgium, and he looked at the way we were using products that were consumed in a very high volume and a very high consumption, but so basically cleaning products. If you look at the amount of cleaning products used every day, it's amazing. It's about billions of liters go down the drain every day all over the world. And especially at the time, looking back 35 years ago, those products were full of nasties. Those products were polluting oceans. If we've seen the ocean plastic, I mean, at the same time, kind of invisible pollution is happening every day, going through the drain and polluting rivers, oceans, and in the end, our food chain. So basically, the company started from that notion of, okay, we are making these everyday products and actually it's polluting rivers, oceans, whatever. We can do that differently. And hence the journey started to make more ecological sound cleaning products. And to be honest, the first 10, 20 years from the company was all about being less bad. Was all about taking stuff out of the product which were nasty, which were considered nasty, which in the end resulted in products that didn't work. And were indeed a little bit less bad than the ones you would find in the regular supermarket. Now that didn't get us that far in the end. We were like distributed in these small health food shops, but like a small niche player, very small market share. So looking to the history, I think there's a change in the company that came from looking differently at how green products should be and should work and should function. And one fundamental question that's more and more central to our business is asking ourselves the question, now, how can we design the business just like an ecosystem? How can we design a system the way an ecosystem functions? And there are two things about an ecosystem which make it so interesting as a kind of business model to look forward to. Is one, an ecosystem is not about reducing its impact. No, sustainability today is all about reduction of impact. An ecosystem is about maximizing a positive contribution. An ecosystem is also not about short-term profit. In nature, that's called a parasite. But an ecosystem is about having a positive contribution to the world. So every time we do a new innovation, every time we do a change to the company, we ask ourselves the question, how would an ecosystem have done that innovation, change, or whatever? And it can be applied both on a social level, on the environmental level, as on a financial level. I think central to that question is understanding, of course, these two cycles, biological cycle, technical cycle, so biodegradability and recyclability. The cradle-to-cradle concept, circular economy, has been mentioned before. But I think in reality, if you look at those two cycles, it is still a lot of theory, especially the technical cycle is a very theoretical cycle. There is none very optimally functioning technical cycle. Everything we make that is not fully biodegradable in the end ends up as litter or is being burned. So we really try to even match the two together, having the biological cycle and the technical cycle clash together. We believe that everything should be made from renewable resources, everything should be made from plants. If possible, it should be recycled and reused again and again. But in the end, if it's not possible to recycle it anymore, it should be biodegradable and end up into the ecosystem the way all other things, all other materials end up in the ecosystem as we learn from that knowledge. So this is again central to what we're trying to achieve. I think another point here is that these circles should not just be circular, but our ambition is to have these circles generating indeed a positive impact. Again, looking at the ecosystem, when an ecosystem is being damaged, either through humans, through other forces in nature, ecosystems have the ability to restore itself. Ecosystems can have that kind of positive impact that we as a business have not yet achieved. So understanding how can we not only circular, make those cycles infinitive, but how can we make with each cycle contribute with a positive impact in that cycle is kind of a big challenge I think we all as a business aim for. I think none of us have already achieved having a real positive impact in such a full cycle. And I think that's why it's such an ambitious goal. And if you put that in front of your business, it kind of makes you think differently at innovation. So we put it centrally to our mission. Our mission is indeed be a business for good. Hence, of course, the really nice fit with the Benefit Corporation. We have had the B Corp score already in the US on the Method brand since a few years now, and indeed today proud to be also certified in the European side with the Ecover brand. Now there are a few principles we use to create that benefit, and it came through that mind shift of indeed not trying to be less bad than the others, but trying to be positive. Is generating new kind of innovative projects in the business. And I think central is innovation. Innovation is key in achieving that idea of positive change, in achieving the idea of being restorative as a business. I think design and innovation should stay central to everything you do. So we have created a culture of design, a culture of innovation in the company. We hired, I think, relatively a lot more industrial designers, innovators, all in-house, and we created kind of in-house creative hub and created kind of culture of innovation throughout the different business units we have. So it's really central to what we do. Another important innovation we try to look for is to find materials to make our products, so be it detergents, packaging, other things that we need to clean, that indeed can also start from having a positive contribution. Currently, cleaning products are made either from petrol or from renewable resources like palm oil, the typical big, high volume oils. We are looking for resources that can be locally sourced, do not compete with food, and only have a positive contribution. So we're doing a lot of research on the usage of algae, for example. Algae consume only CO2, just transform the CO2 into biomass, and we use the biomass to make either plastic from or detergents or other byproducts we need to clean. And if you look at that cycle, there's indeed only like a positive change. You consume just CO2 and you turn into a positive product that's in the end completely fully biodegradable with a positive change. Another example of the kind of positive project that came out of this new way of thinking was our ocean bottle. So this bottle was made in collaboration with the fishermen in Europe who went collecting plastic in the sea. So we collaborated for them for 1 year. They went out with specific nets to collect plastic in the sea. We collected it, separated it, and turned it back into new packaging. And actually, I'm also proud to announce the next bottle we're going to make by the end of the year, and that's going to be made from Amsterdam canal plastic. So, yeah. We collaborated with a really nice Amsterdam business, growing business here, which is called Plastic Whale. And he cleaned up the canals in Amsterdam, and we got access. We really started a collaboration with him. We took all his bottles and now turning into the next generation of ocean plastic bottle, which will come in the market indeed by end of the year. Again, we realized that this is not the optimal solution. It's still made of plastic. We're working on completely new concepts of single-use packaging, which can be either recycled or biodegraded, depending on which situation you are on. And then the last thing, I think you need to use the facility, the factories, either the offices, also to create social positive change. This is the last factory we built in Chicago. It's built in an area which was really high unemployment. All the factory industry left Chicago. In the last 20 years, not one factory opened in that area. So we opened a new factory there. Around the factory, there's a whole park that's been created for the local people to enjoy. We're going to have special events there for the local community to enjoy. On the roof of the factory, we have created community gardens, so the community can grow their vegetables on our roof. And are welcome in the factory to participate, of course, in the whole process. In the end, we hope to grow the ingredients we need to produce products on the roof with the help of the local people, and then turn it back into a positive soap. And I hope that story will continue further. Thanks.